we are going to play clock fractions today. In order to play clock fractions, you need 2 sheets for you and your partner. You need a spinner. You need colored pencils in a couple of different colors. And then you need a regular pencil, of course. So to get started, you have to decide who's going to be player 1 and who's going to be player 2. Player 1 is going to spin each of the spinners here and write down the fractions as an addition problem. So first spinner, 5/12, and I'm going to write that right down here, plus 3/12. This is the problem that I'm trying to solve. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my colors and I'm going to shade in both of these fractions on this clock, this very first clock. I need to use a different color for each fraction. So I'm going to start with 5/12, and I'm always going to start at the top of my clock and work my way around just like a regular clock goes around. 12ths are my pie pieces, and it's already divided into 12 pieces for me, so I just need to shade in 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lightly shade it in. Then I'm going to grab another color for my 3/12. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to add that onto my clock. And then I need to write how many altogether. 5/12 and 3/12 equals 8/12. I could also call it a few other things if I'd like. I could call it, if I divide it into thirds, it's 2/3. I know I could also call it, if I look just at minutes, 40 minutes out of 60. And there are some other things I could call it, but I'm going to stick with that for now. Then my partner, player 2, is going to look at my work and determine if it looks right. Yep, it looks right. And then it's player 2's turn. So player 2 then goes to their paper to do their work. Okay, so player 2 has a different paper. They're going to grab the spinner. And you actually could even be doing this at the same time. Player 1 could be working on their first problem while player 2 is working on their first problem. Player 2 has 5/12 again. And player 2 has 5/6. So player 2 takes one color for 5/12. Takes another color for 5/6. Now I have to think about, what do 6 look like? Oh yeah, 6 look like 2 pieces put together, 2 pie pieces. So that's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6. 1, 2, 3/6. This piece and this piece over here would make 4/6. And then right here would be 5/6. I have to make sure that I fill in one clock completely. Okay? To make sure I fill in one clock completely until I move on to the next clock. All right, so now I have to determine how many did I shade in all together. Well, I know I shaded in one whole clock. And then what fraction of the next clock? I could call it lots of things. Pie pieces, it's 3/12. Or I could call it 1 1/4. There's lots of names I could give it. Okay? So then player 1 and player 2 spin again to come up with a new problem. Let's go back to player 1's paper. Grab a new color. They spin 11/12 plus 5/6. Player 1 goes on to solve. 11/12, so that's 11 pie pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's a lot. That's one color. Switch colors. 5, 6. That's a lot of pieces too. I have to remember 1/6 is 2 pieces put together. 2/6. This one and this one make 3/6. 4/6. 5/6. Wow, that's a big chunk that I can color. Okay. Now I need to look back to see how many total pieces did I color. Well, I started up here with my green. It was my green's turn. Started up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 pie pieces. That's 21/12. That's an improper fraction. I can change it into a whole number. How many whole clocks did I shade in? Well, I shaded in this whole clock on this turn. Plus I shaded in this part and this part. So one whole clock plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 12s. Okay. So then what we do is we keep going until we get to 3 full clocks shaded in. The first player to completely fill all 3 clocks wins the game. If you're on this last clock and you spin a fraction and it's too big for this clock, it goes over, you lose a turn. You must fill in the last clock with the exact fraction. Okay? The last step is for each clock, you look at each color that you used and you figure out what fraction equaled that whole clock. So once a clock is filled in, look at each color. Purple was 5/12. Blue was 1, 2, 3 12s. Green was 1, 2, 3, 4 12s. All of those added together equals one whole. That's the very last step, and you're going to do that for all of your clocks.